one of the things that we are very proud of, to continuously challenge ourselves to make sure that we all improve. So why not, right, have a slot just to share with you some of my thoughts around table topics and how do you best attempt table topics. But at the same time, I know a lot of you would probably have heard a lot of the typical table topics type of tips lah, which is if you don't know how to answer the question, try to speak around the question and try to come up with a story, come up with a structure. Well, all those things are good, right? I want to kind of challenge all of us here to look beyond just like table topics. And I just thought of sharing you some of the mindset or some of the framing that if you do it right later, as we approach the 3 table topic session that we're going to have later, you notice a huge difference in how you respond to the topic and how you your confidence level. At the same time, how do you craft a good conclusion? And I just want to kind of start off on that setting. Table topics, right? In fact, in all type of speaking, I think this is very important. If you guys can get this thing right, a lot of your communication in Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters in your corporate professional, it will vastly change the way you speak and communicate. And the thing I'm going to share here is on audience psychology. Sometimes when we as a speaker, right, we speak, right, we think that we are just giving a piece of information. Like, okay, especially for prepared speech, I prepared for 2 weeks and I want to take this piece of information and I want to communicate to you. Okay, that is what a lot of people's perception on speaking and communicating. Now, to me, when you communicate to somebody, you are actually triggering a reaction from your audience. Okay, so let's give you an example. Let's say I go to Suwan and then I ask Suwan, Suwan, maybe you can answer me, right? Okay, Suwan, today is a public holiday. What did you do today? 1 2-liner.
I do something sexy.
Okay, something sexy, yeah. Okay, so you see, from my point of view, my intent was to ask a question. Okay, the reaction I got from Suwan is a reply. Okay, so the challenge that I have for all of you is whenever you communicate, right, you have to think of the context of where your audience is and what is the person thinking, what is the environment the person is operating in. Okay, again, I give you an example in an interview, right? Okay, let's say you go for a corporate interview. Okay, and then think of this as a table topics lah. So the interviewer asks you a question. Okay, what do you think from the interviewer's point of view, right? Interviewer's point of view. Okay, you guys can just unmute and share, right? From the interviewer's point of view, what do you think is the person's intention? Is it purely to get information, or is beyond that?
To gauge your character.
Correct.
Your
to gauge your
intention.
character, right? Okay, correct. So to gauge your character. Anybody else would like to share?
To get your motivation.
Yes,
To apply this
motivation.
job.
Yeah, why you want to get this job, right?
I think it's to get to know that person, to see whether we can work along well together.
Okay, so in other words, rapport lah. Okay,
Yes.
so rapport, right? Okay, so rapport. Want to know your motivation. Want to know like why you want to apply this job. So having said that, right? Do you think the person is interested to be intellectually stimulated by your answer? Right. So his role there is to kind of gauge the rapport, gauge the fit. He's not there to see how good is your answer. But I think a lot of mistake, right? A lot of table topics speaker make is when they want to attempt a question, in their mind, the mindset and framing, they are thinking, how can I answer that question? Right? How can I answer that question? So if somebody asks, do you prefer to dine in or dine out? Okay, so that is a question, right? So as a table topics speaker, right, I come in, if my mindset is thinking, okay, I'm going to answer, I like to dine out because the food, I have more variety. So he's approaching the topic from answering point of view, right? But from the person who asked that question, he's not interested to know your answer one actually. He just wants to feel how comfortable you are. He wants to feel how persuasive you are, right? He will never challenge your answer. One. So you guys have to know that when a topic is being thrown to you, it's not about getting a right answer. You have to remove away from that, right? But you got to focus on how can you reply the table topics with the level of conviction, persuasiveness, certainty. So when you answer it, right, you cannot, I feel, and those kind of things, because you see, when a table topic speaker answer a question, let's say, do you prefer to dine out? Okay, then dine in or dine out. If he answer, right, I prefer to dine out because it gives me more variety. And then what's next? Then he tried to say, for instance, I can go for this to eat nasi lemak. For instance, I go mamak to eat roti canai. And then what's next? Because he's approaching the topic from an answering point of view. And then when he answered, he has to give a reason, and then he had to give more examples. And then when he's stuck, this always happen one. When the table topic speaker stuck, right? They suddenly change point of view already. Actually, dine in also good because I get to eat home food. And then when you have this kind of different way to reply, right? You will confuse yourself more, and then you will struggle, and then you cannot reach a conclusion because now you have two point of view, which is why, right, when you get the question, don't just think about answering it. Keep the answer to the end. Your answer will be your conclusion. Your opening, you just talk out only. Just talk about anything. As long as you are confident and certain. So if somebody asks me that question, right? If my answer is I prefer to dine out because of variety, I don't say it first, because when I say it already, right, I got nothing to talk already. I have to keep on loop around my answer. So I just simply say anything. I say in life has a lot of choices, right? You have choices of your job, you have choices of your career, you have choices of a husband or wife, you have choices where to stay. But isn't it true that life is all about choices, and the choices is in your hand? Then you just talk about anything lah, because you know your end answer is going to be dine out because of variety already. And then you can say that, especially in Malaysia, we are blessed to have a lot of food. You have nasi lemak, you have this, you have that, you have that. Sometimes people were willing to drive to Penang to eat laksa, drive to Klang to eat bak kut teh, and after that, but of course now it's Ramadan, people puasa, but at 7 o'clock, you can see people are lining up. See, you are because you have the answer in your mind, but you haven't said it out yet. So which is why you will always be on course, one. You will never sway away, one. Then you slowly go to the answer, right? So you just talk because I always feel, right, table topics is like digging a hole. If you dig the hole too deep, make sure you know how to get out. So instead of that, why not you just go high level first? So later, right, when you go through the table topics session, right, when they give you a topic, don't jump in and answer and try to justify your answer, because you will limit your thinking process, one. So at least the first three sentences, right, set the context, set the boundaries. Start off by in life, then you can talk. Okay, so maybe somebody can just throw me one question right now, and then I will use that as a case study to demonstrate how can you apply this. KJ.
Okay.
I think
One of the questions that the interviewers like to ask.
Okay.
How many dogs are there in Malaysia?
Okay. So let's say if I get this question, immediately at the point I need to think about my ending point already. How many dogs are there in Malaysia, right? I need to think about the ending point. So if I say, okay, maybe my ending is there's no right answer to that, right? Because life is about curiosity, right? So if that's my ending point, okay, then I begin my talk skill already. Okay, then I say that, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been in a situation when you look at something and you start to think? Okay, for instance, you look at the menu from the restaurant, you start to think what to eat. When you open up Netflix, you think, what do you want to watch? And then when you go out with your friends, you think where to go out and hang out. Do you realize that thinking process actually stimulate your curiosity? And because it stimulates curiosity, you are open to explore more different things. Only when you explore different things, then you get to experience it to see whether you like it or not. And then after that, you slowly go to your question. Just like how the question was being thrown to me, how many dogs? Because the truth is, as we speak, a new dog is born, and then your talk skill just keep talking lah. You know, as you speak, a dog may pass away, but we never know the answer. But that is the beauty of life. So you see, I'm heading towards a direction, but I'm just setting the context based on anything that I want to talk about. Okay. And you see, when I do that, right, I'm not putting pressure on myself. Imagine if I were to answer that early and I said, actually, there is no answer to that. And then I have to justify why I say that. Then I said, because something, something, something. And then what's next? So, and then something, something like that. Then the more I talk, the more the harder it is for me to conclude. But if I start off by knowing the ending point, then I set the context, then I talk about anything, but it always leads there one. Because from a table topics master point of view, right? When the table topic master asks you a question, he will never challenge your content one, but he's probably gauging how comfortable you are. Compared to a prepared speech, a 5 to 7 minute speech. When it's a 5 to 7 minute speech, if me as an audience, when I sit in there, I'm actually listening to your content. Okay, because you have a title, you have a speech objective, you have a 5 to 7 minutes structure. So I'm there to get information from you. But for table topics, I'm not there to get information from you. I'm there in a way to make you feel comfortable. As long as you can speak a single point of view, a single route, then you're good to go already. It's very easy one, table topics. But it's always the mindset. Okay, if your mindset is I want to answer the question, then you will struggle. If the mindset is I want to tease you, I want to talk around it first, but I know I will end at that, then you open yourself to more creativity. Okay, I talk too fast already, I feel. Yeah, okay. KJ, how long I have? Maybe I can have a quick Q&A. I still have time. How many more minutes? We can, right? Okay.
Two minutes.
Maybe I open up.
Yeah.
All right, 2 minutes. Wonderful. Maybe I just open up for question. If anyone has any question, then I can, give you more tips so that later you can take it to practice. But now, what I've shared is know where's your ending point, but don't tell too early, and then just talk around it, set the context that leads to your ending point, and then you very easily you can take on the topic. Okay. Any questions?
How to prevent ourselves from like overly explaining stuff and start blabbering non-stop? What's the balance between the talk cock and then the conclusion?
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, always remember, right? Whenever you go at the high level, right? Okay, when you go like in life is about choices. Okay, life is about variety. So when you go on a high level, right, it's very difficult for you to blabber. People will feel you are blabbering when you go into the detail. Okay, when you go into too detail, people will feel that you are over explaining things. But when you go high level, because people can agree with you, people can agree with you. Like when I said, life is about choices. There's choices of food. You can go here and do this. There's choices of a job. You can do this. You can do that. So that is not blabbering lah. But if I go into very detail this morning when I woke up, I decided that maybe I should try something different. So I went to the mamak and I ordered a roti canai. But when I look at the menu, I don't know what to order because I have this, but I also want to eat that. Then you are detaching yourself from your audience already because you are too zoom into your point of view. But when you start high level, right, then it's usually easily can bring people to your speech, right?
Hi,
Cool
Chen Chen,
stuff,
I
man.
have a questions.
Who is that?
I have a question. I'm
Anne, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Annie,
I'm Anne.
come.
Hi. Someone forgot to introduce me, so maybe he thought I'm already a member already, but it's okay.
Maybe
I
Anne, you introduce yourself. Whether
no
introduce
worries.
yourself, then you can
I joined last week as
Yeah.
my first time joining Toastmaster. So it's my second time joining you. So yes, you mentioned a high level of the speech, impromptu speech, and my question is, in the high level situation, For example, I'm having conversation with those, you know, upper management, and it's the first time I know about the president of my organization, and to start we start having this kind of conversation, and my purpose is to impress them, to have good image of myself in front of these high level people, you know, and how should I prepare for that in this situation.
Okay. You know, I always feel, right, in every topic that you have, in every expression that you have, and any topic that you want to talk about, whether about yourself or about a specific topic, we need to observe this rule. I call it the 30 second, 5 minutes, and an hour. Okay, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour. So anything that you want to present, right, any topic that you want people to perceive you as a credible person, you need to be able to use 30 seconds to explain the topic and get them interested. All right, you need to have a speech that is 5 minutes that you can present to them to give them sufficient information to want to talk to you more, and then you will have that 1 hour big presentation that really establish you as credible. Now you cannot mix them up, man. You cannot have a 1 hour speech mindset to approach a CEO that you're going to share for 30 seconds, because the dynamics is very different, man. Because the 30 seconds one, right? The 30 seconds is something like what Mark said. It's like an elevator pitch, right? So you, based on the timing that okay, let's say you meet a CEO, all right, you want to introduce yourself, and then in the 30 seconds, right, you need to already have a 30-second speech to kind of introduce yourself. If you don't have that, then you, no matter how credible you are, you can never impress your boss, man. Because your 30 seconds is for you to lead to the 5 minutes. If the person say, oh, that's interesting, tell me more, then bring out your 5 minutes one. Oh, that's interesting, maybe I should catch up with you, then bring out your 1 hour. There's no one single, because again, it's about audience psychology, right? I mean, you can use this rule, people in this room, you can use this rule, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, and an hour. If you're in a consulting line like me, you want to have at least 5 key topics that is the emerging trend that you can talk for 30 seconds. And then maybe you want to have that one big topic that you talk about for 5 minutes. And then in your area of expertise, you need that 1 hour speech to get the buy-in, to sell something. And then based on that, you will adjust accordingly. So again, it goes back to the point where when you speak to somebody, it's not about the content. It's about the context where the person is operating in, what is his intention, or what is his objective to talk to you. If the intention is building rapport, then the way you craft your content has to be different. If in a negotiation type of communication, then KJ, I got that. Maybe I just finished this one first. Yeah. In a negotiation type of context, you may craft your content to be perceived as fair. Okay, see, context-driven communication. Okay, so I know my time is up. Now, just to summarize, for later, if you guys want to attempt the table topics, don't rush into answering the question. Think about the answer, hold it first, big bang opening, talk about high level, and then you slowly lead to your conclusion, which is your answer. Again, there's no right, there's no wrong. You just need to be comfortable. Okay, so let's hand back the control to Suwan to take on for the table topic session. Suwan, back to you.
Thank you, Chen Jun. Thank you, Chen Jun. Everybody, let's give a big hand. Let's put our hands up and get your drinks up. Put our hands up for Chen Jun for sharing such a valuable experience. So without further ado, let's go to the sections number 1. So before that, table topic is about 2 minutes. So in 1 minute, our timer will green light. KJ, would you mind put up the green light? And in 1 minute and 30 seconds, KJ will put up an amber or yellow light. In 2 minutes, KJ will put up a red light. In 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that's where you stop to speak. All right. So the next gentleman that I have the privilege to introduce, our first table topic master. I would like to call him the Joker of the club, but he's not the Joker of the club. He's the Jack of all trades. He do magic professionally, and he speak professionally as an MC and host, and he advise you financially professionally. Let's bring up our first table topic master, Duncan Shen. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Suwan. That's a fantastic introduction, Suwan. I absolutely love it. So, a very good evening, everybody. My name is Duncan, and I'll be your first table topics master for today. And the theme for this table topic is going to be fun, right? And this is what I believe in, is that your life is a table topics game. Every single time we go out, we speak to people, it is a table topic, and the power is within you to help people gain value out of every conversation that you have, and you hold the power to shape people's life with the words that you speak. And this table topic is where you get to practice that, and this table topic is where you get to have fun, right? So to set a bit of context, I said that this life is a table topics game, and in games you have fun. So again, the theme for today is magic is at the end of a comfort zone. So I implore you to go all out, to really enjoy the session and speak as if your life depended on it. Speak as if you are on a roller coaster ride on Sunway Lagoon and enjoy that experience. Okay? And with that, I would like to have my first volunteer. If you'd like to volunteer, raise your hands up so I can see you. Okay? If not, I'll volunteer someone. Oh, yes, awesome. I see Jerry. I shall volunteer Jerry up on stage. Hey, Jerry.
Hello, Duncan.
Hello. Hi, Jerry. Okay, so you have a
Hello.
choice between lifestyle and fantasy. Pick one.
Let's talk about fantasy.
Fantasy. Fantastic. Okay, so the topic for you, Jerry, is what song would be played on a loop in hell? What song would be played on a loop in hell, Jerry? Jerry, what song would be played on loop in hell?
I think during my primary school, especially during the last year of my primary school, I was facing this exam called UPSR. I believe that everyone knows that UPSR is going to the history, so that we are no longer, especially for your children, your next generation, we are not going to have any of the UPSR in the future. But for me, that time, having UPSR is such a hell for me, you know, because you need to go through all the examination, especially there is a subject that is really killing me, which is, I call it as English. Okay, for English, I can tell you, last time I didn't speak like this because I didn't even know how to spell important. I spell as importance. Okay, so important become importance. Okay, so this is something I think I'm in the hell because my teacher told me that, Jerry, are you something wrong with you? This is not important. This is important. And not only that, even in the exam, right, they asked me about the tenses. You know, all the tenses making me my nerve even more tense, you know, because all the past tense, present tense, future tense, all are the same one. But when I want to wrap up all the things, I can, whenever I want to enjoy my examination, enjoy my English exam, I will play Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again. Because every time I did the wrong thing, I spell wrongly, wrong grammar, wrong tenses, wrong adverbs, wrong adjective. I'm interested become I'm interesting. I'm interesting to you. I become I'm interested to you. Things like that. So things will go away and go there. So when every time I sing Oops, I Did It Again, it's just a conviction to myself, trying to convince myself that it's okay, Jerry, just did something wrong, just be silly, just go weird, just do something that is not you're not familiar with. Oops, you did it again, because learning English is like that. Okay, so when you go to the examination, you still need to face the hell, but eventually you're still enjoying it because I'm singing Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Oops, I did it again. Fantastic. I wanted you to sing it, Jerry. It's okay. Later on, let's have a karaoke session and get you to sing the song. All right. So now let's have our second volunteer. Raise your hand through the roof if you'd like to be our second volunteer. Okay, I see Diane. Diane, would you like to be our second volunteer? I saw you raising your hand, so this is where you are.
Sorry,
okay.
I was actually applauding. I didn't
Applauding.
really
It's
Yes.
okay. You are
Uh,
accidentally
okay.
volunteered up.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So, Diane, lifestyle fantasy.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Diane, what's your best my coworkers are crazy story? What's your best my coworkers are crazy story, Diane?
Thank you, Mr. Topic Master, for that lovely topic. My craziest co-workers with me, I would have to say, was back in Australia when I was working with a financial planning company. They were always tell me on Friday at after 3, it's no longer called 4 o'clock, it's called beer o'clock. And for this particular firm, they love drinking ciders. They love drinking a lot of cider. I am not one who likes to drink, but going together with them, I drank quite a bit of cider just to impress them. I thought not so much to impress, but really to be able to engage in better conversations. I would have to say I roughly remember the conversations 25%. But the craziest thing I would have to say from that incident is that I drank quite a bit. And then after that, we went for dinner. And my alcohol tolerance being as low as it is, when I drank, I had drunk quite a bit. I'm drinking the soup from the hot pot place that we go to. And my friend starts talking to me, my coworkers start talking to me. I remember halfway we were discussing something, and next thing I know, I remember my eyes opening, and then everyone is looking at me. I actually had nodded off at the table. So I was actually nodding and nodding, and I actually slept while I was eating hot pot. And that would have to be the craziest thing that I've ever done with my coworkers. That's one of those stories where they remember you because you slept at the table after drinking cider and having steamboat. And did I mention that my coworkers were thinking that I'm the crazy one out of all of this? So that is, I guess, the craziest story that I could share with all of you. Back to you, Mr. Topic Master. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diane. So now we know how you are like when you get drunk. So looks like it's time for another round of hot pot in the future. Let's do that, and let's get Diane to drink a little bit more different, something different than cider. Let's see if we can see a new side of her. Okay, so let's have our third volunteer. Raise your hands if you'd like to be a third volunteer. Raise your hands. If you don't raise your hands, I will volunteer you. Okay, EJ, I see EJ. Hello, EJ.
Hello. Hi, Duncan.
Hello. EJ, lifestyle fantasy.
Fantasy. Let's give it a go.
Fantasy. The life of a seatbelt. EJ, life of a seatbelt.
Raise your hand if you are the oldest sibling in your family. Okay, now raise your hand if you are the youngest sibling in your family. Okay. If you notice, I didn't ask for the middle child to raise a hand because we are the forgotten ones. Life of a seatbelt. I am there, but nobody notices me. Nobody uses me. Nobody bothers to plug me in. I can be so important at times, but sometimes I just see people just flying through when there's a strong impact. There was a time where I was introduced, but the world didn't like me. And the world opposed to me as they say that this is an obstruction to the freedom of the driver. I was there, but no one wanted to use me. I was the forgotten one. Until it became mandatory and it became a law for people, everybody have to use me properly and so that they can avoid casualties when accidents happen. So that's the life of a seatbelt. I guess I'll pass it back to Duncan to continue as the life of a table topic master. Back to you.
Thank you very much, EJ. Now we have heard the life of a very sad seatbelt. And my friends, let's take a moment of silence to pray for the seatbelt. Okay. Now let's, KJ, do I have time for one or two more? KJ, okay, if you're not speaking, I assume I have a lot of time. Okay, one more.
One more, yeah.
One more. Let's get a guest. Guest who would like to volunteer
Yeah,
for the last one?
We have
It's going to be a very fun one.
Is Aaron volunteering? Oh, Grace.
Grace, I hear Grace. Okay, let's have Grace volunteered up on stage.
No, actually, I'm not familiar with the reaction button, so I was just experimenting it. I wanted to give a thumbs up to EJ just now. So I said, oops, I better withdraw. But never mind.
It's okay.
My name is called. It's okay. I haven't done this for a long time. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what's your
Grace,
question?
All right, I'll let you have fun with this. If you were a pizza delivery woman, how would you benefit from Caesars? Grace, if you were a pizza delivery woman, how would you benefit from Caesars?
Wow. Thank you for giving me such an interesting questions. First of all, I don't eat pizza. Number two, I don't use Caesars that much. So I basically just have to explain in whatever kind of fantasy that I can think of. Now, how I can benefit. Okay, because as you can see, even though I'm not getting very young, but I'm still very attractive. So if I'm a pizza delivery woman, just in case if I deliver my pizza to somebody who has a fancy on me and try to be funny with me, for me, actually, I'm okay lah. But if let's say he's ugly, he's oily, he's smelly, and then definitely I would not agree. So I will use the scissors to cut, you know where lah, for the men. Okay, so basically for me, it's that pizza and Caesars usually we don't carry together, but I think nowadays it's very, very important that we have to be aware of the self-defense. So use the Caesars to cut anything or any parts of any attacker when you are actually facing some problems with that. How much time do I still have?
Green light.
Green light only. Okay, that shows. Okay, now talking about the pizza, definitely whatever I'm going to talk has got nothing to do with my fancy about or my non-fancy about pizza. I feel that it is really not healthy food. I don't know, for those pizza lover out there, I'm so sorry to say that, because you've seen, I've got friends doing pizza for sale. You know, the way they do it, the ingredients they put, the hygiene level, honestly, it's like, So I would strongly recommend all of you, okay, even to the Pizza Hut, okay, those are not very hygienic. So it's better if you want, make your own pizza. And for Caesar, Caesar, it's, you use it when it's necessary lah, but it's a pretty dangerous thing. And for pizza and Caesars, to me, I don't see there's any link on that. So basically, I'm just using my imagination to talk about that. As Chen Chu has mentioned, I don't have to answer rightly or wrong. Okay, basically, it's our first time doing a table topic after 7 years of inaction. So I'll give myself a pat on the shoulder. Okay, it's the time's up.
All right. Yep. Time's up. Time's up.
Okay.
Biggest lesson from Grace today. If you want to approach Grace, you must first be good looking and you must first be clean. Only then you have a chance with Grace. If not, you will lose your balls. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to cut balls, but something else. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Grace. And I hope you guys had tremendous amount of fun. I hope you did. Okay. And let's move on to, I'm passing back the controls to Suan, right?
Yes.
And hope you guys had fun with the next session as well. Make sure you go all out and just enjoy today's session. Back to you, Suan.
Thank you. Let's give our big hand. Put our hands up for Duncan. Thank you so much, Duncan. And let's vote for our best table topic sessions. Best speaker for table topic sessions number 1. Go ahead and put your vote. And while we are voting, I would like to introduce our next person who will be our table topic evaluator, Mark. So Mark is latest addition to our club. He's an experienced Toastmasters, and we are exciting to have Mark in our club. And I hope Mark really give some of our speakers some advice and evaluate them on your best, at your best. All right. Thank you for voting, and over to you, Mark.
Thank you, TME. My name is Mark, a new member of the Elite Toastmasters Club, and today I would like to share my evaluation of the speeches that were made by the 4 table topic speakers. Let me start with the first one, which is Toastmaster Jerry Wong. The topic that you received was what song would be played on a loop in hell. And I noted that some of that you started by talking about the points you talk about your own childhood days, which is about your primary school times where you sat for your UPSR examination. And of course, you were concerned about your language skills. About being able to do well in the English subject, such as pronunciation issues like important or important, or tenses whereby you were getting your tenses mixed up. I was glad to see that when you have spoken, you definitely have spoken as an experienced Toastmaster, whereby you have spoken with confidence and you have established good eye contact. But I noted there was something which I would like to give a little bit of feedback for improvement to bring yourself to a much higher level. Okay, this is something that is common for many of us Malaysians, whereby it is about word stress. Word stress is whereby it is about bringing emphasis to certain words. And I noticed that when you were speaking, a lot of your word stresses will focus onto the verbs, but not onto the nouns. For example, the word English. English is a noun. So I noticed that when you were saying the word English, okay, you stress on the word lish. The way to pronounce it is English, okay? Well, because it's like nouns, there are certain ways that you position your pronunciation. As you point out rightly, important and important, there are differences in pronunciation. So it's worth noting where word stresses for nouns are concerned. Let me move on to the next speaker, which is Diane, okay? Diane, the topic that you received was, what is your best "My co-workers are crazy" story? And I'm glad to hear that you were bringing up your own memories of your work experience in Australia, sharing about your work experience in financial planning, and even bringing a little bit of humor into your presentation. And of course, doing crazy stuff together with your co-workers, drinking beer together there and getting yourself knocked out in the process. I like that you had spoken with confidence, but there is something that I noted when I was listening to your speech, which is you can use a little bit of variety on your vocals, such as rhythm, pitch, volume. They are kind of steady. It's good to have some variety. It can be fast and slow in certain parts, slow on the parts that you want to emphasize. Pitch can be higher for those words that you want to emphasize. And of course, volume, some variety, up and louder and softer. for grammar, you have good use of tenses. And I noted that when you're talking about where word stress is concerned, I noticed that you stress a lot on your verbs, which is good because you're trying to emphasize on your actions. But word stress should also be applied on your nouns as an area of improvement. All right. Next to the next speaker is EJ. Topic that you got was a very interesting topic, which is the life of a seatbelt. I must commend you for being able to come up with something that is fast and quick. Okay, and the main point of your presentation, your narration was that a seatbelt is important, but forgotten. We take it for granted, and there are many things in life that we take for granted. And your presentation resonated with me because there are so many things that they are important to us, but we are taken for granted until this pandemic has struck us, and suddenly we realize that the things that we taken for granted is worth treasuring. I also noticed that you have good eye contact and also good pacing, quite slow on occasion, and also good pauses. One area of improvement that I would like to suggest would be words that I noticed that you have good word stress on verbs and important words that you wanted to bring forward to emphasize your actions, but not nouns. So it's good to practice on this one because with good word stressing, that sort of thing, it brings variety to your conversations, right? And then to the last speaker is teacher Grace Tan. From a teacher to another teacher, it's a pleasure to listen to you. I would like to commend you for your great attempt in table topics after 7 years. I, like you, am also a long-time Toastmaster since 2008, okay? But on a seasonal season. I noted that you were talking about the topic that you received was if you were a pizza delivery man, how will you benefit from scissors? And then, of course, you brought up your topic, which is about delivery of pizza, and brought some humor. If the person that you're delivering to is good-looking, handsome, great voice, the sort of thing, I don't know, like Sean Connery, I suppose, yeah, you just let it go, okay? But if you're talking about somebody who's ugly, I don't know, maybe Gollum from Legend of Five Rings, there's Lord of the Rings, that sort of thing. Yeah, I say, yeah, maybe you might want to cut him into pieces for the matter, okay? So it sounds, there was quite good humor in it. It sounds a little bit to me like a dangerous version of 50 Shades of Grey. Eye contact, I feel that it can be better by opening up your eyes, because I felt that when you were speaking, it was quite like your eyes were like quite close to me. Sorry, but that was what I was seeing on the screen. Okay, but and then I also noticed it's for speech crutches. It comes like it's normal for all of us. But I noted that you have speech crutches like but, my, that sort of thing. So it was a great attempt on your part. And this concludes my evaluation. Back to you, TME.
Thank you, Mark, for such insightful evaluations. And I forgot to mention that this meeting, we don't have our counter, we don't have grammarians. So ladies and gentlemen, just go for it. So we will take, I think we only have 2 minutes of break. Before that, I would like to invite you to turn on your webcam camera so that we can take a group photo together. Is that okay? Yeah, let's take a group photo together. Yi, can you help us to snap photo?
I will take a photo. Yeah, everyone, Ming Yan, if possible. If not, I'll be counting down in 3, 2, 1. And everyone, please show me your brightest smile in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me check on the photo. Oh, good. Yep. With that, pass back the control to you, Suan.
Okay, thank you, Yi. So for those of you who haven't tried our table topic yet, who haven't tried yet, can I see your hands? Who haven't tried it? So I'm not sure what you're waiting for, but let me show you one quick video before you go to break. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay, just do it. Just volunteer yourself. Okay, now go for a break. We come back in 2 minutes.
So can I suggest in our second leg of table topic, can we invite more guests?
Yeah. So we
Right.
have.
Hi, this is Riaz here. I joined for the first time here.
Hi,
So just,
Riaz.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. So I just want to know, I mean, if I want to volunteer, is it like I wave from here or should I need to comment on the chat?
You
Yes.
wave. You just raise your hand, and the
Okay,
table
like,
topic master will pick out you.
Justin
Okay.
already know who to pick later.
Yeah, I'll pick you, Riaz.
Sure.
So Justin, you will be the second table topic master, right?
Yep, Hasno. I'll be the second
Cool.
one, and I will pick Riaz lah. Easy. Easy.
Probably you might consider to change your setting to gallery view. Then you will see the whole everybody picture.
And I can say, yeah, cool. It's been a long while since I joined Toastmaster, maybe 2 or 3 years back.
You have experience in Toastmaster, yes?
I've been to, yeah, at my office, there were a Toastmaster club. So I used to go, once in a while.
Okay.
Which club is that, Riaz? What's the
Sorry?
name of the club? What's the name of the club?
No, it's not in Malaysia.
Uh,
It's back in my country.
where are you from?
I'm from Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have been living here for 2 years now.
Okay. Yeah, Sri Lankan, their Toastmasters is very active and very huge over there.
Yeah, but the one I was in, so they're like active, not me though.
Welcome to Malaysia. We hope we have been a good, giving you good hospitality. If not, let me know. We will serve you.
Yeah, I'm showered with hospitality.
To all members and guests, we have 20 seconds left before we start our table topic. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, welcome back all Toastmasters, Elite Toastmaster Club and guests. Now, let's go to the second leg of our table topic. I would like to pass the control back to Swan. Swan?
Yeah, to Hema. Yeah, no worry. All right, thank you. There's no general evaluator today, so everybody just relax and have fun, right? So next table topic master that I have the privilege to call up is, I think he's one of most creative guy next to me. No, I'm the creative guy. Huh? No. So he's one of the most creative guys in our club. So let's invite our next table topic master, Justin Chun.
Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Justin, and now we are coming for the table topic for the second session. So for my theme for tonight is about inspiring, and I have question 1 to 6. So I think you can see my screen there. Yeah, hopefully. Okay. So sometimes we take our life grantedly, and sometimes we come to a point that we start to think, what have we done right, or we make the right choice. So today my topic is, I'm going to make you guys think a lot before you make your first decision in your life. So I have my first volunteer, Riaz. Hi, Riaz. Okay. Hi. Hello. So Riaz, I have question number 1 to number 6. Can you pick a number, please?
Yeah, number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so just one question. Are you married?
No.
No, okay. This is a very interesting topic for you. Is there any situation more uncomfortable than being asked to choose between your partner, your spouse, or your parents? So my question for you today is, who comes first after marriage, your parents or your spouse? Over to you, yes.
Yeah, interesting. So it's an interesting question, of course, for like a single who doesn't have a girlfriend, so to throw this question actually. But for me, it's always when it comes to parents, and they have been there for you, let's say until you're married, and then comes your spouse. So especially when I put it into a context in my native country in Sri Lanka. So there, when a girl gets married, they will usually move to their husband's place, or they will move apart from their family and they will live alone. So in that case, the girl, which is the spouse, they will usually leave their family and they will come put their whole trust in the husband. So it's if in that case, if I have to choose between my spouse and my parents, first thing, of course, I'll check the problem. Let's say for example, it's a topic that needs to evaluate. Then I should of course focus on the content. I mean, who is right exactly? So if it's the point my wife or my spouse is right, then of course I'll stay with her. If the point is if my parents are correct, then I will stay with them. But of course, I will make sure, let's say, for example, if I take my spouse, then of course my mom will be like, not disappointed. She might think, okay, he's once he married, he always gone with his spouse side. But I'll make sure to convince her, it's not because of that. I took her side because her point was right. If it is you, if your point was right, of course, I would have taken your point. So it's not like emotionally blended when it comes to decision. I'll always make sure who is right in terms of their fact. And I'll make sure to not to, make the relation and conflicts. That's all. Thank you.
Bravo. Yes, thank you for sharing your opinions. Oh, okay. So I would like to share a bit of my story because I've seen a lot of my friends, they have argued with their parents and their spouse, but there's no right or wrong answer, but there's always the best solution for all this situation. So, okay.
You can never be able to convince both of them at once.
Yes, very true. But we can select one. What's the? Okay, yeah. So can I have a second volunteer? Any second volunteer, raise your hand up. Let me see your hand. Any second volunteer, don't be shy.
You can.
Hi guys.
I think.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Ming and Steven.
Yes, Ming and Steven double. Oh, can take both.
I see Rachel raising her hand as well. Rachel Ling.
Oh, Rachel.
Rachel Ling. Okay, Ming and Sing, I'll come back to you later, or give to Rachel first. Rachel, pick number 1 to number 6. Number 1 to number 6, yes. Number 3 is out.
1 to 6. I'll pick number 1.
Number 1. Okay, what is number 1? I also forgot. Okay. If you can travel back in time and give your younger selves some advice, what would you say? So my topic for you today is, what advice would you give to your younger self? What advice would you give to your younger self? Over to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Justin, for the question. In life, we always have a choice. And over the years, I have come to realize that a lot of the times we act out of fear, out of the feeling that maybe we're not good enough, or maybe what if I do this and then there will be another consequence. There are many things that I would tell to my younger self. one of the big things that I would tell myself, my younger self, is to try everything. Just try everything once. You know, at the age of 16, 17, remember the days where we are at such a young age, at 16, 17, and we have to choose what our major is. And we think that, hey, our major is going to be, that is it. Once we choose our major, choose psychology, I'm going to be a psychologist. But in fact, in life, there are many answers. There are many ways. As we progress through life, we figure out new pathways. We figure out more things about ourselves. These clues lead us to the next step, So my advice for my younger self would be to try everything and never underestimate what you can do. Thank you, and back to you, Justin.
Well done, Rachel. Thank you. So yes, the reason why I bring up this topic because I've been watching RuPaul Drag Race, and this is one of the questions they ask the contestant, and every time they give very, very interesting stories, and sometimes people break down cry lah. So I was hoping seeing anyone to break down lah. Okay, so can I have the third volunteer, or the third will be Ming and Xing Yin, is it? Steven. So it will be tag team or single? So who want to go? Nate?
Steven.
Ming, is it?
Ming.
Okay.
No, Steven.
Steven. Okay, hi Steven. So question number 1 and number 3 is out. So you got 2, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, number 5. Okay.
我不知道会问什么，我不紧张。
No, don't worry lah, Steven. Don't need to be scared. Okay, this is very interesting. So many of us convinced that wealth leads us to happiness, and that's not always the case. So if happiness were the national currency, what kind of work would make me rich? So the topic is this: if happiness were the national currency, what kind of work would make me rich? Over to you, Steven.
If happiness, sorry, can you come again? If happiness were the national, charity. I think volunteer work, because I love animals. So I'm a very big animal fan. So I think being able to help out, like, am I answering this right? Okay, so basically being able to help out like strays and being able to rehome them, especially like dogs and cats, because I feel like in Malaysia it's not very the government and also a lot of people are not the Malaysians are not very animal loving people. So there are a lot of strays and also cats and dogs in Malaysia. So I think I would that's the kind of work I would do, which is, you know, do charity, try to rehome them, and also try to reach out to other organizations like SeaWorld and all that kind of stuff, you know, just trying to help animals all around the world. Yes, that is the kind of work that would make me rich, because happiness for the doggos, for the cats, for the animals, and then in turn happiness for me. Okay, yes, thanks.
Thank you so much for your first time table topic in front of everybody here. Give you a big applause. Great job, and glad to hear there's another animal lover in the club. Please do join us because we have few members here are animal lover. Yeah, but she's not here today lah. Okay, who's the timer? Timer, do we have extra time?
Yeah, one more.
Okay.
One more.
Okay, I see Yi. Is it Yi? Want to try?
N.
Yes.
Justin.
Oh, N. Okay, yeah.
N.
Okay, yes, N. Hi, N.
Hi.
Oh,
yes, can you hear me well? So it's my first talk today.
Oh, it's your first table topic. Okay,
Yes.
so we have number 2, 4, and 6.
Two.
Okay, number
Flash
two.
the question deck.
Yeah, I will flash it. Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes I forgot also.
Thank you.
Okay, balancing your professional and personal life can be very challenging, but it's very essential. So my topic for you is how to improve your work balance life today. How to improve your work-life balance today. Over to you, Anne.
Thank you, Justine. I think this is also a challenge for me at this moment, especially when we work in an industry which is really a hectic timeline, deadline, a lot of projects, and especially at this time we are work from home. It's even more difficult to cut off the work time and my personal time. So that is really a good question that which I'm facing now. So when I seriously think about how to improve work-life balance, I think I do need to separate my my activity time. Which my strategy is first I prepare two rooms. Actually, I have one guest room. So the guest room I use as an office, and then I put another my sleeping room with a yoga mat, and then I separate all my activities in different rooms. So when I leave my guest room, which is now my temporary my office, shut off the door. Then I go to the next room, either on a yoga mat or in the living room. Then I do my personal stuffs. So that's how I try to balancing out my work and my working time and my personal time, and which is not easy, especially at this moment I'm a full-time working mom. I also have a child, so after this speech I need to go to pick up my kids. So you see that I don't have really limited time, and I don't really have so much of my personal time. So I think it's really about how we manage ourselves with different kind of strategies and approach. Yeah, I hope it works, and I'm still improving. And I see red card, red cards show up. Time's up.
Thank you, Anne, for your first time table topic with us. Congratulations. And I feel now you achieve a achievement here tonight. So I hope that to see you in the next club as a member, if you have the time lah. So
yeah,
guys, so this is my end of my table topic. So I'm going to pass the control over to Suwan, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Suwan, over to you.
You are not wrong, Justin. Thank you. Let's put our hands up for Justin. Thank you, Justin. And let's vote for our best table topic speaker for our second sections. And while you are voting, I have the privilege to call out our next person, which is Diane. And Diane is one of our grand mentor of the mentor. And so glad to have her today to give our table topic speaker, and I hope it's insightful evaluations. Over to you, Diane. I will stop the voting now.
Thank you, Suwan, for the lovely introduction as always. And tonight I will be evaluating 4 speakers. So that will be Riaz, Rachel, Steven, and Anne. So for Riaz, thank you, Riaz. That was quite a tough topic to consider, choosing between your spouse or your parents. I thought that Riaz handled that beautifully, diplomatically. If I was one of either parties in his family, I would say, well done. That's very diplomatic of the way that he put it. So one of the ways that he answered it, he goes in the topic, he repeated the question. Now, as a table topic speaker, I thought that is actually a fantastic way to communicate. repeat the question, stall a little bit, so that actually gives us time to find out what points we want to share. And then what I thought Riaz did was he said, okay, I'm not going to say I pick one. I'm going to tell you if I side with a spouse, this is what's going to happen. And if I side with my parents, this is what's going to happen. I do know what the consequences are, but this is what I'm going to do. So I thought that flow of his structure was easy to follow. And I certainly was like, oh yeah, this is somewhere I can agree with. My challenge here to Riaz, the next time he delivers his impromptu speech is, once he has already said, okay, it's either this and it's either that, what was the conclusion from all of this? What was the topic once more? Because that was the part I was saying, okay, wait, so we're following the title. So he could actually, at the end of it, say, so when it comes to asking me such a question, I believe in both sides. Just give a little summary in that way, repeating the topic and giving a short summary reason. So that's just my challenge to Riaz, and I hope to see him come again to deliver another speech because he's got a lovely voice and pleasant demeanor as well. So thank you, Riaz. Next, we have Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, for stepping up to do your these table topics. And with Rachel, as always, I like the way that she repeated the topic and she took her time. And when she repeated it, it comes from a very personal level, and that's always entertaining. It captivates me as an audience, certainly. I was like, oh, okay, she's going to share some more about herself. Well, let's see where she goes with this. And that's why I thought she led us in. And yes, she did say, if I could, I would tell myself, would you particularly like us to focus on? That's my challenge to Rachel. Either she picks, she did say 16, 17, and I need things that I wanted to tell my younger self. And then she kind of lost a little bit of her plot.
Diane, I'm not sure if everyone else is also facing. I can't really.
Diane?
Yeah, she's breaking.
You're breaking up?
Yeah.
Maybe you can ask her to turn off her cam. Maybe it helps.
Or later, or she can give table topics evaluation before I give lah. So we just preserve the whole section for her.
Yep.
Then, right?
Yep, that's good. So for Steven and for Anne, just stay tuned, okay? Diane will be coming back and we will continue the evaluation sections after that. So with that, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, can I see the show of hand? Can I see the show of hand of whoever haven't tried table topic for today? So what are you waiting for? Try everything, as Rachel advised to her younger self, try everything. So with that, let me bring up the third table topic master, Taylor Yap. Over to you, Taylor.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Suwan. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Right now, you are going to have an opportunity to participate in one of the most interesting and exciting table topic sessions. So what are you waiting for? My theme for tonight is about choices. There's once a wise man tell me about this. Life is a matter of choices, okay, in our club. And every choice you make use. So if you are lucky enough tonight to grab a seat to join our table topic section, don't waste it. Put up your hand and let me pick you up. Let me pick you up. Okay. Yeah, I cannot see everyone. Okay, I already see Juliana. Okay, thanks for stepping up, Juliana. So tonight, I'll be bringing a lucky wheel to all of the contestants for my table topic session. So you get to choose. Okay, okay, it's actually a lucky wheel. Okay, let's see here. So from this, I'll help you to click lah. I'll help you virtually click. You can virtually click, but I'll help you to click. And it's the spin. You're gonna spin, and you will get the question to you. So I will help you to make a choice as well. Yeah, let luck help you to make a choice. So you got question number 4.
Okay.
So, okay. Question number 4, Juliana. Would you rather marry someone who doesn't love you versus marry someone you don't love? Juliana, would you rather marry someone who doesn't love you or marry someone you don't love? Pass to you, Toastmaster Juliana.
All right, thank you, Taylor, for the question. Life is indeed full of choices, and this is a very, very tricky question indeed, because life is very, very short, and it's really not worth being married to someone who either doesn't love you or that you don't love. It's a very, very deep question as well, because being married to someone means you're actually going to be tied to the person legally, lawfully for the rest of their life. So it's not an easy answer, but obviously you'll come to junctions in life where you have to make choices. Maybe there are circumstances and context for this to happen, but if you really need to choose, I would just rather see what are my other alternative choices that I have, because I would seriously think it's too short for me to choose either ways, to be married to someone that either I don't love or who doesn't love me. But if I really, really need to answer your question and choose either one of these two evils, I would just marry someone that I don't love, because it's a lesser of the evil, because I can manage my expectations and it's easier than expecting someone else to love me. So I'm assuming that if I'm not loving the person is at least hopefully loving me in return. So there you go.
Thank you, Toastmaster Juliana. Thanks for answering this tough question, and don't let your husband listen about this one. The video better not pass to your husband. Okay, so it's a section right now, and anyone want to? Okay, I saw someone is very near to me and put up the hand, and I need to ask someone at my side for this section, and you get to press the lucky draw yourself, so you get the chance. This is the special chance. You just need to replay. Okay, you get question number 3. Okay. Woo! Okay. Toastmaster Vanessa. Would you rather have more time or have more money? Toastmaster Vanessa, would you rather have more time or have more money? Pass to you, Toastmaster Vanessa. Thank you, Toastmaster Taylor, for the questions. Would I rather have more money or more time? What can I do if I have more time? If I have more time, then I'll probably do something that I enjoyed myself. If I have more time, then I'll probably spend the time to go outside and look for the kind of hiking spots that I would enjoy the most that I don't get to do during weekdays. If I have more time, I would probably spend my time traveling within district. If I have more time, I'll probably spend more time doing workout. If I have more money, then I'll probably use the money and spend it on the activities that I do during those times. So if I have given the choice to choose whether I would rather have more time or more money, I would choose the former one. I would rather have more time, because given the time that I have, I'm able to spend it in my own terms and my own way. Back to you, Toastmaster Taylor. Oh, thank you, Toastmaster Vanessa, for this nice poem that shared with us tonight. And if I have more time right now, I'm gonna ask more of you guys about my question. So next to it, I would like to ask someone from the ground. Okay. I saw Hema. Okay.
Oh, Hema.
I'll choose Hema. Yeah, I will choose Toastmaster Hema. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, Hema. Will you continue use the lucky draw, or would you like to pick your own numbers?
Lucky draw, please.
Okay, lucky draw. Yes. Everyone wants something lucky tonight. Okay. Okay. So you get number 2. Okay, your question will be, Hema, would you rather know everything or be amazing in activity you try? Hema, would you rather know about everything or be amazing in activity you try? Pass to you, Toastmaster Hema.
So the question is know everything versus be amazing in activities you try. I would go for be amazing in activities I try. Because in that way, I would want to explore in new activities, and I know I'm amazing at it, but doing it practically would also enhance my experience. I would be able to resonate with my knowledge as well when I'm doing that activity. I would have fun doing those activities as well. Therefore, I would choose be amazing in activities I try. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hema, for stepping up to picking up this choice, and it's a good chance. May I ask, Hasno, do we still have time for more contestants?
I think we can have couple more. Yeah.
Oh, we can have a couple more.
Yeah.
One more. Okay.
One more.
Have Leonard and Karen, right? Volunteer
Leonard and Karen.
themselves.
Yeah,
So
Leonard and Karen is okay.
we get both of them to join. We have time actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
Leonard first, then Karen.
So let's start with the ladies first. Yeah, Toastmaster Karen. Do you want to go for the last one, or
how about Leonard first? I'll be the last one.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Get the guys to step up first.
Okay.
Yeah, Leonard, you get the chance and you pick it. So do you want to do the lucky draw and about picking your
I
numbers?
think I prefer the lucky draw. I prefer the lucky draw. Just see where fate takes me.
Okay, you get number 1. Okay. Leonard, would you rather have live unwind button or have live pauses button? Leonard, would you rather have live unwind button or have live pauses button? Pass to you, Toastmaster Leonard.
You know, a lot of people told me that if they are given a chance to travel back in time, they will change the past so that they can have a better present and a better future. And a lot of my friends also told me that they would like to pause their life at this moment because they feel like if they have more time, they will be able to accomplish more things in their life. Personally, I believe that views are not wrong. But for me personally, I would not have a live unwind button and live pause button if you ask me to pick one of them. I would simply destroy both buttons because I believe that I don't want to look back into the past. To me, the present is the present. What is done in the past is water under the bridge. So my previous decisions, I have no regrets at all. So live unwind button doesn't apply to me. As for live pause button, I believe that if I have a live pause button, it will actually cause more problem to me in a very paradoxically. So if I pause my life currently, I will have different objectives that I want to achieve. And ironically, it will cause me to divert from my focus. So in a sense that I won't be able to know what I want to achieve in my career, what I want to achieve in my family, simply because there are too many goals that I would like to achieve if my life paused at this moment. So for this reason, I won't pause my life as well. I will just take it as life flows, as it flows, and I'll just take it naturally. So back to you, Toastmaster Taylor.
Thanks for sharing this, Toastmaster Leonard. You make a good choice for spoiling it, but I still want to use it if I got the chance. So, okay. So our last table topic contestant will be Karen. Yeah, Karen. Yes. Karen, so you would like to get the lucky draw or pick your numbers? You still got 2 choices.
I give you the honor.
Okay,
to
I will
choose for
pick
me.
the lucky draw for you. I don't dare to
Thank
make
you.
choices for you. Okay. Okay. So you got number 5. The question will be, Karen, would you rather be the worst richest person or be the worst smartest person? Karen, would you rather be the worst richest person or be the worst smartest person? Pass to you, Toastmaster Karen.
We were briefed by the table topic master. The theme for this session is about choices. Whether we are here, we make a choice. Even from the morning, we make a choice. Every day in life, regardless major or minor things, we do make choice. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the choices you make today? Today, I decided to have a fulfilled day, and that's how I schedule all my activities in one day. You see, I was given the questions, be the world's richest person or want to be the world's smartest person. If I want to be honest to you, I want to take both. But again, it comes to the questions, I only have one choice. Would I want to be the world's richest person or the world's smartest person? Does it matter to me? At different point of time, it may matter. Maybe at my age of 20, I want to be the world's richest person because I want to own everything in my life. I want to own car, I want to own house, I want to be somebody else famous in the world. But maybe when come to age 30, I want to be the world's smartest person because I think having the wisdom in my mind, I will be able to help out the people. I will be able to reach out to people who they need help from me. So at different stage of life, we will make different choice. At this moment, I would like to say, yes, I want to be the world's smartest person. How about you, my friend? Remember, when it comes to different stage of life, you value your priority. What is the choice you want to make? What is the mindset you want to have? What are the activities you would like to do to reach out your purpose, to fulfill whatever you promise you want to be? Be the world's richest person? Be the world's smartest person? That is in your hand. Back to you, Toastmaster, table topic master.
Thank you, our contestant, Toastmaster Karen. Thanks for asking that. Thanks for throwing me back the question to me as well. So you did share to us like life is about priority. So I deeply agree about that thing. And yeah, thanks for everyone for stepping up tonight, for joining this table topic and make choices for 2 minutes. So I would like to pass back the control to TME tonight, Toastmasters 1.
Thank you, Taylor. And let's put our hands up for Taylor. Yay! Thank you, Taylor. And now let's vote for our best table topic speaker for sessions 3. And while you are voting, can I check if Diane is ready? Diane, can you continue back your evaluations? Maybe start over again for Rachel because you kind of
Yeah. I know. I apologize. I was speaking halfway and everything just went blank, but thank God. So for the second speaker, it was Rachel. So I'm just going to repeat once more. Rachel, she was given the question of what advice would you give your younger self? And as I mentioned, she gave me a very she started off repeating the question, and then after that she brought us into which age that she would actually she picked a particular age. And then I noticed that one of the things that I did notice for Rachel was that I think she had ideas of quite a few ages that she wanted to say. She did have the advice, try everything. My challenge to Rachel is if she wanted to pick that particular age, as a point, pick one point, and then just give us a reason why that particular age of trying everything. And then one thing that I must admit, she did take some advice from what Chen Chun had mentioned earlier, and that was to just speak whatever you're speaking and then use the title as a conclusion, which she did. And that sort of linked back everything. So my challenge to Rachel from here is keep up with what she has, just to create a stronger body for the speech that she wanted. So pick that point, what is the reason, and then go back to the title of what she was speaking about. So thank you, Rachel, for that. Third speaker for me was Sivan. So thank you, Sivan. You shared about your what currency, what's the national currency that you would, what's the national currency, and if it was, what would it make? What work would you do? I thought that she actually took the time. She asked for the question to be repeated, and then from there she got started. And the first thing that came to her mind was about charity. And you could see from her face, I saw that she was so happy to just talk about pets. She's a pet lover, anything to do with that. She would really enjoy it. My challenge to Sivan, when you're about to share such a passionate topic, it's great that she had some ideas. One of the challenges to just maybe give herself a little bit of flow is saying, ask herself why. Why charity? Charity because this is maybe to tell us, how long have you been doing this? Something along those lines. How long have you been doing this? How long more would you like to do this? And where does this lead all of us in your story? When we're telling a story, perhaps to just ask ourselves, one of the things that I always encourage is just pick up a what, a why, and a how. What sort of charity, why, and the how of doing that. So this is just to create a flow when we story tell, and then that gives us an idea of a flow. It takes some practice, but once we start it, one of the ways I always encourage is just start it off. What is the best charity that I would say would make me happy? How am I going to do it? And then why is it important to me? Just say it out loud until it gets actually imprinted in the mind, and then that's where the structure comes about. So that's my challenge to Sivan. However, keep up with that passionate smile that she has, and is a very friendly demeanor, and almost so that I was ready to say, hey, would you like to go and find some pets together and let's go and save them? Although I've never done it in my life. So thank you, Sivan, for sharing that aspect of your life with us. Anne, thank you, Anne, for sharing about your balancing. And she straight just gave us a topic about finding that work-life balance, and how she captivated us was immediately she says, I am still having trouble in this particular topic, and then making it relatable to all of us. And that's why I thought Anne did beautifully. My challenge to Anne is one of the things that she could work on is just the summary, because I actually found her points, her body of her speech was very strong. She gave us a point one, she used her workroom, the guest room becoming the workroom, and then she had a second point which was about the living room. So she actually had some points to share. Just my challenge to her in all of this, bring it back to the topic of, yes, this is how I am balancing, because she provided the how, and it's a how question. Just bring it back to that, because I noticed that she actually strayed off a little bit, trying to re-emphasize her point. Maybe just end with that summary and leave it to all of us to interpret it in our minds on how we can also balance our lives. However, thank you, Anne, for stepping out for the first time. The courage is amazing, and I hope to see you in future once more to be sharing another topic or just your thoughts with us. Thank you, and that's me. Back to you, Suwan.
Thank you, Diane. So many thoughtful and insightful tips and tricks to ace the table topic sections. Now, our last table topic evaluator, our Sifu, our master Chen Jun. I'm sorry, you have 5 people to evaluate. Okay, over to you. Sorry, you're muted. Yeah.
Thank you, Suwan, for inviting me as the table topics evaluator. I think the choice of topic given by Taylor is probably the toughest among the 2 batches because it is indeed very difficult when both the choices seems to be a good choice. But I must applaud for all the speakers for giving such a great effort in terms of addressing those topics and also reaching to the conclusion. And I really applaud all the courage for that. Now, for the first speaker, Juliana, when I hear you speak, it reminds me of watching a Korean drama. Almost there, want to kiss, suddenly commercial. Next episode. And then repeat again, want to kiss, stuck again. And so you brought us to a roller coaster where you said that life is about choice, life is short, there's a deep question, very difficult. But if I were to choose, I mean, what are the alternatives? And then we were just going in that loop. Only towards the end, you kind of put in an assumption and you kind of ended up there. Now, in terms of really going through the flow, the motion was there. You did not hesitate. There weren't any blank space. You just went on with it. Perhaps one of the tips I could give to you whenever you face in such difficult topic is don't need to answer the question. Just pick one keywords and talk about it. So you can talk about marriage. You can talk about the beauty of marriage. You can talk about why marriage is so important. You just go around the loop because at the end of the day, there's no right, there's no wrong, and you are not required to answer the question, right? So whenever you're stuck, just pick a keyword and just talk around the keyword. That will help you. For the next speaker, Vanessa. Again, Vanessa is being thrown a difficult topic, and she went on a very poetic mode. If I have time, if I have time, if I have time, and then if I have money. And then after that, you eventually brought us to a conclusion. So I thought in terms of the flow, it's there. In terms of the content, it's there. But I felt because it was done in a very literature type of speaking, we couldn't feel your persona, right? You need to add a little bit of conversation into it so that we get closer to you. But nevertheless, I was waiting for the conclusion, and you gave us the conclusion when you said you pick time. So that indeed gave that whole table topics a good closure. So perhaps next time, add a little bit of your persona into your speech. For Hema, the topic is whether you want to know everything or amazing at the activity that you try. Well, you gave that table topics, and you kind of went both ways. Like you talk a bit here, talk a little bit there, and it kind of sided to your point of view. But I thought, to really to help the audience to understand your point of view, it's good to call it out early. In fact, that applies to all the table topics speaker as well. I know in my sharing, I said don't give your answer too early, but it is okay to make a stand early. Okay, for me, I will pick this, and then it will kind of program yourself to help structure your thought towards that topic. Okay, so you know what you're going to say, you just have to make the stance, and then automatically the flow of thoughts will come by itself, right? So that is probably a tips for you. For Leonard, answering just like a lawyer, you look at the argument from both angles, which is very good. And then after that, you said that you gave us a very creative spin to it, because you said, I will destroy both. And that is actually a very good skill for table topics, because if you disagree with something, there's more things for you to talk compared to you agree with something, right? So you went on that, which is why your creativity was unleashed in that process. But I felt because you cover both angles, it's very difficult for you to conclude. And I would hope you could give us a good package at the end to sum up why you want to destroy these two, to give us a sense of closure. Because to me, it's an entertaining speech, it's a creative speech, but I hope you could give us, again, a package for us to take back. Correct? So that's for you, Leonard. For Karen, whether to be the richest or smartest person, you went on with the whole in life, we have choice in life. Every day we make choices for us to be fulfilled. And I must applaud you for your confidence in taking the topic. And you gave us a perspective, a new perspective into if I were 20 years old, I want to be rich, but now that you have changed, and then I know that is all choice. So in terms of your thought process, your structure, everything is there. Now, towards the end, when you start to add in more things like talking about purpose, I think you also spoke a little bit about passion. It kind of created new branches of things to think about. And when you're reaching the end already, right, you may just want to say, just stick to like choices based on your priority. Then you just end it. Don't need to say that, fulfill your purpose and all those things, because at the end, right, we don't want to create new train of thoughts. You just want to maintain it. I mean, in the beginning you can, but towards the end, which is why crafting the conclusion first is very important for us to have a convergence towards the conclusion. So overall, I think the topic is very difficult for everyone else. You can see that different speakers have different style. Some of them will just talk around it. Some of them will change the topic. Some of them will disagree with both. And the lesson that we all can take away is there's no right approach, there's no right answer. As long as you can show conviction, that is how you ace a table topics. So with that, thank you very much. And I hand back the control to Suwan. Back to you.
Thank you. As usual, right? Our champion evaluator, Chen Jun, and with his insightful, with his thoughtful, and with his analytical skill, and how to couple that with the metaphor, kudos, Chen Jun. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of this table topic marathon. I hope everyone has fun with it. If you have fun, can I see your hand? Yeah, good. But before I pass to our presidents, would like to announce our winner, as well as to give the appreciation to all our table topic speakers of today. First up, Jerry Yong. Yes, thank you for participating. And Diane, with the cat. Okay. And EJ, yay. Grace Tan, thanks for participating. Riyaz, all the way from Sri Lanka. Rachel Ling, try everything as usual. Steven, thanks. First time bubbling and very joyful. Very enjoying speech. And thanks for the courage. Juliana, tough questions. Vanessa, yay, good job. Hema, good job as well. Leonard, okay, lawyer, yeah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for participating. And Karen, thanks for coming. And with that, the first table topic sections, and the winner is, can I have a drum roll? Brew, yeah. Jerry Wong. Yeah. Woohoo! Not sure he's still here. Jerry Wong.
He's not here, but I'll be sending this to him later on.
All right, thanks, Gigi. And next, Rachel Ling for sections 2. Rachel, try everything. Yes, indeed, very good speech. And the third one, drum roll, please. Leonard.
Whoa! Destroy the button.
Destroy the button. Thank you for joining, everybody. I hope you have fun. If you have yet attending our table topic, it's okay. You can coming back on our next meeting, which is on 13th of May. With that, I pass it back to Hasno, our president, for his closing speech. Over to you, Hasno.
Thank you, Suwan. Thank you for conducting this particular of our table topic marathon from the beginning until to the end. I hope everyone, including with me, are excited and gain knowledge, and there's something that you can learn from everybody over here. And congratulations to all the table topic winners, and to others, don't worry, don't sad. This is a medium for you to experience and try your best. Okay, don't worry, there's plenty of time. And let's move on the spotlight to our guests. To guests, could you share your experience and feedbacks in this particular of our marathon table topic? Can we start with our first guest, Lee Fong?
Hi, Hasno. Thank you. Tonight, my night is well spent. I learned the basic tip from Chun Chun. Just 3 things. Just know your conclusions, and then pick a few. Then start off your my table topic with introduction and generally touch a bit on the topics, and then slowly build the context and then dive into my conclusion. Of so many sessions I have been attended for this table topic session, this is the easiest, very applicable. Thank you, Chen Chen, for sharing, and thank you, Karen, for sharing the information of tonight's meeting. Over to you, Hasno.
Thank you, Lee Fong. Thank you. Thank you for your feedbacks. And we're glad if you can come and join us again in our next meeting. You can see more tips from our speaker. And next, let's move on to our next guest, Grace Tan. Hi, Grace. You want to share your feedbacks?
Oh, definitely. It's going to be 1 hour long. Be prepared. Now, basically, I just want to say that your meeting is very well organized, very structured, very orderly. Because I haven't attended a meeting for a long time. And first time seeing online version, this is my first time seeing it. So I feel that you guys really did it so well. It's very smooth. The transition was very smooth. And it was very professional. So I think the entire ambience, it's formal, but yet very engaging, very lively. You know, I can see that the bonding and the camaraderie of you guys are really good. I mean, Yi has been telling me quite a fair bit, and she has been boasting that Elite is so good lah, this lah, that lah. But I think seeing is believing it lah. Huh? So I feel that it's really actually, to be very honest with you, some other clubs actually asked me to go back to Toastmaster, and I couldn't commit because I don't have much time. But after attending tonight's meeting, and honestly, it's kind of like reignited my smoldering little flame. So if I were to join a Toastmasters club, because now it's online, then it's fine. I might really seriously want to consider coming back to Elite. Because I mean, I look at your days, actually it doesn't clash with my classes days, so it should be fine. Of course, provided that you guys still have room for new members. I will get in touch with your VPN soon. And of course, the last thing, it's Chen Chun. I mean, I've seen Chen Chun from a small little boy to now a big boy. Wow, his improvement is really leaps and bounds. No wonder now everybody call him the Chen Chun, the legend, or the legendary Chen Chun Lee lah. So I actually see, I personally learned so much. Honestly, during 7 years, a lot of my skills has gone rusted, and after tonight, I feel that, oh my God, I got to start to learn from zero. So thank you so much, Chen Chun, for all the table topics, all the lessons, because table topic is always my weakest link. My forte is giving evaluation and speeches, and also, of course, grammarian and things like that. But table topic is my weakest link. But thank you, Chen Chun. Because of you, I have regained some confidence in tackling table topic. Although I didn't win today, it's fine. I mean, I just want to, learn something. So thank you so much, everybody, for having me with you. Thank you. Well, less than 1 hour. Okay. Right.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you. Appreciate your feedbacks. And yes, indeed, we have a Grandmaster Chen Chun, and we have others Grandmaster also, like Diane. And in fact, we do have others like Gigi Wadamper. Okay, so to guess, this is not a proper official our meeting, so we don't have a proper setup. And probably if you want to see a proper formal meeting, please join us again on the 13th May. All right, thank you, Grace, for your valuable feedbacks. And let's move on to our next guest. Riyaz.
Hi, yeah, this is the first time I was joining an online Toastmaster, and in a nutshell, so I would say three things. The table topics were awesome. It's like literally they late with the topics. It's awesome. The second thing, the organization, the flow, free flow, and you guys had this creativity in between. That's perfect. And overall, it's like an perfect comments, and especially the three tips that the 30 seconds elevator pitch and the 5 minutes to point your stuff and 1 hour to carry the topic away. That's thoughtful. So it's great. Yeah, I'm happy to join again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Riyaz. Feel free to join us again. And in fact, the Toastmaster program do have a proper syllabus in place. And we do have mentor who will guide you from beginning and assist you until to the end. Okay. And next, let's move on to our next guest, Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hello. Thanks, Hasnu. And thanks, Chen Chun, for sharing this on his Instagram. And of course, thanks, Suwan, for sending me the link. The great message I learned here is there's difference between TT and table topics and speech. So I learned that speech is 5 to 7 minutes. People are there to listen to your content, the call to action, the message, while TT is the context. It sounds like to me in TT is we are entertaining people. So I always thought of impress people by the call to action message. I tend to hear these kind of evaluations from the evaluators. But today I learned a different thing is, as long as I set the context right, people get the message. So I need not have to so emphasis on a particular call to action. That's the learning for me today. And thanks for the great questions from Taylor. I also try to beat around the bush like what Chen Chun taught us, but not successfully yet. Yeah, keep learning. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Karen. Yes, I agreed with you. Continuous learning. Okay, so let's move on to our last guest. Ming and
Ming and Steven.
and Ming. Ming and Steven. Hi, can you? Yes. Steven and Ming, any feedbacks? Appreciate your feedback and your experience throughout our table topic marathon.
I think it was quite an interesting experience with everybody sharing their table topics, little speeches. And then I also kind of learned about the art of, talking cock. And and yeah, and then I also appreciated Diane for giving me some advice on to go with the flow of think about what, how, why when telling a story. So yeah, that was really helpful, and I think it was a really fun experience. Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, thank you guys, and thank you to all members, guests, and the ESCO who are setting up our table topic marathon. And hopefully we could also organize more marathons same like this, but maybe not on the table topic, maybe on the prepared space, for example, like an open mic. Okay, so that's all for me, and I would like to invite guests to join us again in our Elite Toastmaster meeting on 30 May. And for the guests who have first time, I would